here versus the beater on the curse, Josh Mansfield versus David Saltzman. Brooms up.
Josh Mansfield, man of the year, you could say. And a quick beat, Todd Matthew of Tulane Quidditch. He'll head back to the hoops, and the San Francisco Argonauts are in action here. Bringing the quaffle up the pitch here.
Argonauts are looking to reclaim bludger control, and Mansfield has beat Saltzman to push him back to hoops. Argonauts will be taking their time, looking for an opening and get that very important bludger control.
That's Samuel Harris with the quaffle up top. He's got a beater near him. As Todd Matthew engages, gets beat. He gets forced back, so that will not count as one of the resets for the San Francisco Argonauts. It does count as one of the resets off of the tackle. They called midline on that one, so. And now on the attack, a quick throw off the short hoop is going to be blocked by the body of a New Orleans Curse player, and now they're on a run.
Oh, it looks like the Argonauts beater is hurt, though, but they are not calling a stoppage of play. Argonauts going for the goal, the Curse going for the goal, and it is good. But the refs are signaling for a stoppage of play because number 52 on the Argonauts was bent over in pain behind the Curse hoops during that last drive.
And that's a rough one. Of course, Quidditch, a full contact sport. Can get hit from pretty much any angle as long as it's not from behind.
Jacob Mativia down by his own hoops waiting for the call.
And on that score, by the way, that was Charlton Trammell of the New Orleans Curse for the goal to give the Curse the temporary lead. You see a penalty situation where this goal doesn't count? Do you see one?
I don't see a penalty situation because there was no... Oh! I am mistaken. Good call. Or it was not a penalty, but looks like there was a beat before.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what this was.
Beat before.
Oh, wow.
So
Beat before.
Saltzman got there in time, and they are not forcing Mativia to sub out.
And we saw Trammell drive to the left side of the perimeter of the small hoop and then had to cut back towards the hoops, and that was probably just enough of a delay for that beat to get in there, so good hustle on the defensive effort. And that's Francis out there. He plays for Gulf Coast Gumbo, and he's also the leading scorer for the New Orleans Curse. He's out there playing point defender, number 12 for them. A drive by the Argonauts on the small hoop, and a drive into it is no good. Two Curse players down. Quaffle regain. Now they got to get it to their keeper to stop the offensive possession, and they will for the San Francisco Argonauts. They will trek back on defense.
And the Curse beaters managed to hold on to control after some nice play from the Argonauts and stop the goal at the same time, which is a very difficult task. They are looking to push this Argonauts team back into their own zone and give their keeper as much space as he wants.
This score still 0-0 here as the Curse are trying to figure out, and a strip possibly over here on the right-hand side, and there's an advantage called. We'll see what the finishing play is. It's going to be a tackle on Trammell. He's got possession for it, so the call likely going against the Argonauts.
Looked like it could be a from behind based on where the Argonauts player ended up finishing that tackle, but it's not clear yet.
And when we talk about what the Argonauts are in terms of the penalties, they've got nobody on their team coming into this tournament. Nobody on their team had more than 2 cards, so that's pretty impressive, especially with the multitude of ways you can commit a foul in Quidditch. So only have...
Is that just yellow cards, no blue cards included?
I believe that is just yellows being called on that one.
And
as we
have just called a quaffle turnover, and it looks like no, it was the loose bludger got returned to the Argonauts. They were not given control back.
Chang has the quaffle on the far left-hand side, also has the keeper headband on. And from the Argonauts, you can hear the chants of "Don't be a hero," as Trammell has got a line and a quick beat throw. A quick beat behind in the back pitch off camera here for a second. Now bringing the quaffle up the pitch, and it might have, that might have been a late throw, but it will not be called. Throw potentially off Broom Chang will scoop this one up. She's got her headband around her neck at this point, and that will be a midline reset on that one after a quick exchange that wasn't necessary. So the Argonauts losing one of their resources in terms of the ability to retreat, and now DePano trying to take advantage of that one. He might have a potential swat on his hands
But the Argonauts are going in for a napalm, looking to create some pressure and get that bludger on the ground for a no goal.
That's the third time that hoop has gone down, and it is done, ladies and gentlemen. That hoop is done for the day, done for the tournament. We'll see if they allow it to continue to play here. It is bent.
It's going up to the great Quidditch pitch in the sky.
Yeah, what happens to hoops after they get broken? I know bases, they try and salvage them, but hoops, they just throw them away.
I believe they're taken to a farm upstate.
Ah, a farm, right.
Butterfly farm?
Ah, that's some dark stuff you just referenced. A butterfly farm.
But the Argonauts, in that mismanaged pass off behind the midline, they did manage to regain, to claim bludger control for the first time this entire game and subbed out Matevia for Perry Wang.
And a beat up top. Looks like bludger control, a turnover. Bludger control showing itself here as 3 chasers are beat for the curse.
All bludgers are on the ground, and Sam Harris has a clear path.
And a clear finish. And the lead, 10-0 Argonauts. San Francisco comes into this game averaging 90 quaffle points per game, which is pretty good in comparison to what they were able to do last year, averaging 80 points. So you like to see that offensive uptick. Takes a lot less pressure, takes a lot of the pressure off of not only your beaters but your chasers as well, to go out there and have to play near perfect defense for your team to be successful.
Last year, the Argonauts made it the farthest of any team in the West, and they're hoping to reclaim that Cinderella story they earned last year. And Curse has regained bludger control with a nice beat by Josh Mansfield. Pass out, it is good.
They called it no good. The refs called it. That quaffle hit the inside lip of the hoop and then somehow worked its way outside. Maybe because of the hoop moving, it slipped over the top of it. Now Sean Booker, the star for the Argonauts here, the leading scorer for them.
During the
A-star, not the star. He's got 13 goals on the season, and his field goal percentage is 54, which is pretty good. And the throw, no, he's actually clear. Samuel Harris was clear on that one. Now Trammell's on the attack. He might have a goal because of a throw from Harris. He's going to be stripped. Harris is going to regain control here in a second. We got an injury on a beater.
Oh, no. That is Miles on the ground. That is Argonauts beater Willis Miles, who, if you can see his brace, he's had some ACL issues this year, and he does not look good right now.
Yeah, he's going to take a second to regain himself. His teammates are going to circle him up, and hopefully he's just in a good deal of pain and is going to walk this one off. Medics have not been called over just yet, so there you go. Toughen it out. Going to stand up.
Does the time need to be going?
I mean,
Oh.
Yeah.
Timer.
Ref, can we get the game time, please?
Cool, thank you.
Game time is 5:38. Apologies for the delayed timer on our stream. And it is 10-0 Argonauts over the Curse. And Miles has been forced to sub out due to the injury stoppage. Everyone's remounting. Argonauts have possession of the quaffle. Michaela Major in as keeper now.
I haven't worked it, but I can fiddle with it a bit.
Okay. It's all you, bro.
Let's see.
Argonauts going to hopefully use this 2-beater pressure to get some more goals on the board.
Score only 10-0. Argonauts leading in this one. And Sean Booker, nearly beat on the heel, is going to get away from a Francis tackle. Francis is going to be beat, but continuous tackle through. He's going to head back to the hoops, and Sean is going to score in this one. And it'll give San Francisco a 20-0 lead in the second game of this possible 3-game series between the Curse and the San Francisco Argonauts. Argonauts feeling the momentum here. They're the second place team coming into this one. They've got the Curse up against the wall here. It's an elimination situation. A win from the Argonauts will eliminate the New Orleans Curse out of the South Division from the Major League Quidditch Championship.
Argonauts beaters are doing a great job. Whenever they can put all 3 bludgers on the ground and give their chasers and keepers a straight shot at goal, except for the time that the hoop basically exploded underneath them, they are capitalizing.
Which, by the way, hoop's still out there. Do not have to take it to the farm upstate. That's nice. It's called El Paso.
Michael
Upstate
Sanders.
is a terrible place. You don't want to go there.
Michael Sanders, beater for the Curse, looking to create some openings for his team. And another hoop goes down, this time fighting for a bludger.
Yeah, bludger fight going over in the hoops area there. Let's see. The hoop is dislodged, but it cannot be re-engaged until this Curse possession is possibly over. So there's going to be a midline call.
Michael Sanders able to win Perry Wang's bludger, but the third bludger was on the ground, and Jake Mativia was able to protect it so Perry could recover and keep bludger
And
control.
they're trying to argue that he was forced backwards to prevent the reset call, the reset penalty. And the Major League Quidditch rules, in case you're wondering, at the midline, basically just like in basketball, you cannot go into the backcourt unless forced by the opposing team into your own offensive half, and sometimes that means engaging in a tackle. And if you intentionally retreat into the back pitch, you will be called for a turnover. And we saw earlier on the far right-hand side, the chaser, let's see, that's Shelby Newcomer, who came into the back pitch to give it to her to give it to one of her chasers, gave up their one reset. No call on that one, so the Curse will still be in business here for an offensive set. They're going to need some points here. They're down 20-0 as we near that magical time of snitch on pitch.
And Curse beaters are pinning the Argonauts down, and Mativia breaks free, gets a free shot, and there are no bludgers in front of Harris. Passes off to Booker for a third goal.
Booker has scored 2 of the Argonauts' 3 goals. Goal ref called it good, but the discussion continues.
Looks like they're arguing a call closer to midfield.
It was a long beat.
Long beat?
Long beat before
That would be pretty impressive for a beat that far away. We saw that earlier from the San Francisco Argonauts, a beat near the midline, which is a dangerous area to throw to because if you miss, the bludger rolls into a non-play situation. And it, in most cases, it actually goes to the opposing team because it goes into their back half.
Even if you recover it, you have to run after it, and in this heat and humidity, that's going to tire you out really quick, and this is a long tournament.
And running sucks.
Yeah.
Also, running is the...
When are we going to fly?
When are we going to fly? I mean, if you run fast enough.
I mean, if
See,
you
that's the problem. Like, the running has to lead to the fly. Yeah.
We
Though
just
if
gotta
you-
turn off the gravity and then play Quidditch.
if you get a big enough snitch, they can make those seekers fly. I have seen
Dylan Freeman is in
Dylan
attendance, but
Freeman.
he is playing, so he will not be snitching.
He has a great photo of him lifting Chris Champito up like a small baby.
Did not cradle him like one.
No, more of a Simba style.
Minus the carrying down. It was a drop.
Yeah, more of a.
A precipitous drop, like as if he had dropped him off of Pride Rock.
I have also seen David Fox pick up a seeker, flip him horizontal, and slam him into the ground.
David Fox of the New York Titans,
Yes,
correct?
David Fox of the New York Titans.
New York actually just got themselves into a close matchup with the League City Legends. Their next game will be in an hour on pitch 1. Sean Booker now for his
That was
30 points.
for the it is 30 nothing. That goal was called off, but Sean still had the ball, so he was able to finish it off anyway.
And Sean has scored 2 of the Argonauts' 3 goals in this game so far.
Sean Booker during the regular season plays for the California Dobbies. And a missed pass, not picked up by the Argonauts. Curse still looking to exploit an opening, and the Argonauts are sitting very
Yes,
deep
they are.
back on
And
their
a
hoops.
nice tackle by Tad Walters to scoop up a bludger
He is basically unopposed and gets a free bludger.
like an eagle scooping a salmon out of the ocean.
Tad Walters using his continually improving athleticism. Over the past few years, he has gone from relatively out of shape to now very clearly fit and strong.
Tad Walters, of course, very familiar with the West. He was the guy he was the seeker who caught the snitch to eliminate the LA Gambits, the West Regional champions in the USQ tournament. Just a couple of
West
months.
Regional runner-ups.
West Regional runner-ups.
ASU
Sorry.
beat them in that finals game. And Curse pass around for a quick dunk from behind. It is back to a snitch win situation.
30-10 here, 30-10. Seekers have not reported that. And also still time to call a timeout for either team prior to the 19th minute when the snitch is released at the 20th.
Miles is back in beating for the Argonauts, and he dodges or Curse misses. Either way, they get bludger control back with Mari Fromstein.
And the
had an amazing play last game. One of the other beaters was in the box, and she managed to keep Curse from scoring all by herself.
And that is San Francisco Argonauts manager Liz Barcelos, spreading some love for her team.
and a quick throwback. And I was just going to mention Argonauts living quite dangerously with the long passes. And it comes back to bite them there, and a good visual. Tad Walters, once again, working these beaters for the Argonauts. He already stole one bludger, and we just saw him off camera in front of the Argonauts who drive into another beater to try and potentially steal another bludger. So we'll see if the hustle and effort continues as Todd Matthew is out here now for the New Orleans Curse. He had two opportunities in that last matchup versus the Argonauts that he couldn't finish on. Both he was beat mere seconds before scoring. Sean Booker is going to be beaten. He'll tap up the hoops. Sean now rotating out on Todd Matthew, who plays rugby and is pretty good at it as well. And a nice shot by Newcomer. Actually, it turns into a pass on Todd Matthew, who throws his stiff arm, spins towards the hoops, and they're going to say that he turned away and accidentally kissed. Now Sean Booker almost losing his broom and the quaffle. Now on the attack, getting pulled on his arm, and Todd Matthew with the tackle. Sean has his shooting arm loose, and the goal is scored 40-10 in favor of the Argonauts.
Curse also recently subbed in Sarah Nealing, one of the longest running players of Quidditch. I believe she's been playing for 11 years now. She started out as a beater for, I believe, was she on Team USA, Liz?
She was on Team USA. She is normally a beater, but it looks like she's chasing because Hive is going for the female set.
And by the way, last game for the San Francisco Argonauts broke a 4-game losing streak for them, entering the MLQ championship. So that one, good for them, getting off the snide. They play the LA Guardians to end their season.
It was a fun series. Snitch range games every single time.
By the way, do they give you guys a trophy for winning the West? Or did you just get a banner?
There's only one trophy that matters.
This is true.
That is
Benjamin
true.
Cup, the Benjamin Cup.
We have not been given anything for winning our region because our goal is to win a cup. Though we do like all the hardware we can get.
I mean, shiny stuff is fun.
Love shiny stuff, especially if you can drink out of it.
That's what I was about to say, especially if it's a shiny cup. Everybody loves those. And that's a drive.
The hoop goes down again.
Hoop goes down once again from beater play, surprisingly enough. And now a quick drive and a cut over and a pass in front of the hoops to Newcomer. She's trying to gain possession, and the Argonauts once again with a defensive stand. Let's see if they fix the hoop here in just a second. Todd Matthew going to trek back. New entry into the game for the Argonauts.
That is Coach Andrew Koval keeping now, and Michaela Major and David Saltzman in at beater. And that is
Kabusi
Hamilcar
out there, number 86.
First year playing Quidditch.
Oh, this is Kabusi. Oh,
Wow,
that's not
first year
Hamilcar.
playing Quidditch and made an MLQ roster. Now that's some talent.
Argonauts have a few rookies this year, but I think Cam's the only one that came with us.
Once again, a long trek for the Argonauts all the way from San Francisco, California, and a nice throw over, and once again blocked. That's Sarah kneeling on that block. Hoop is still down, and an attempted steal of the quaffle is going to see them retreat back in a tackle in front of the cameras over here, and we got a chaser down. Quaffle is out.
Both chasers dismounted on that hit. Pass behind hoops,
And,
and they have their arm wrapped up.
Nice throw, forcing that pass in front of the hoops, getting the beat. The Curse trying to get back on some offensive mojo here. They're down 40-10. And out of all the other teams that are not from Texas, which would be the Austin Outlaws and the League City Legends, the one most accustomed to the humidity would be the New Orleans Curse. So, yes, it is. Life on the Bayou.
great food, terrible weather.
Yeah, our city has literally been flooding for the past 2 weeks.
Oh, right, it is underwater. And play is stopped.
Both literally and financially.
Oh. Once again, the dark jokes from our cameraman here.
Can we get the game time, please?
So 6 minutes,
14:49 is the game time.
a little bit less than 6 minutes until the Seekers will be released. And the game itself will change. If this is your first time watching Quidditch and you haven't seen Snitch on Pitch, they're basically 2 different games. It's basically 2 different games out here. Once the Bludgers are distracted and trying to cover up on the Seeker and prevent the Snitch from being caught and ending this game, and it becomes man-on-man, chaser on chaser. Game gets a lot more physical, and you see a lot more you see some cooler dunks, that's for sure.
And so Sean Booker, who's had a lot of fun in open fields without the Bludgers in front of him, may not be able to capitalize on that because he is one of the Argonaut Seekers.
On a quick throw by Newcomer right when she was beat on the thigh. That would have been a beautiful goal. Now the Curse still trying to work their way into this one. They'll beat that when Sarah Nealing's on her hustle back towards the hoop. Full sprint, full arm swing.
Argonauts looking to push this game out of snitch range. It is 40-10 right now.
And the Argonauts did catch in the last game, and actually they caught for the win in game number 1 versus the New Orleans Curse. Coming into this game, they have a snitch catch rate of 55%. I'll take a coin flip any given day. Once again, Tad Walters out there at the beater position, defending the lead beater, and another clean tackle from Tad, distracting and taking the beater out of the play. The ball's on the ground. Chasers on the attack. The Argonauts are going to get a lead of 50-10. Let's see.
And you may have seen Andrew Koval dance on the line. That takes a lot of practice to make sure only 1 foot crosses and you don't use up that reset unnecessarily. You need both feet to cross for it to count.
And Trammell working his way up the pitch.
Tad Walters face beats the point defender.
Tad out here with the savagery today.
Lets his
He's probably trying
partner
to show off
do
for his girl. That's
Lets his partner take the bludger so he can give another hit. He is looking to hit Saltzman the instant he has a chance.
and Saltzman looking right at him. Sad to say, rumor has it that Tad Walters will no longer be playing Quidditch. And another tackle by Tad to completely remove it. And he got the bludger. Wow! And the Curse get the goal. Tad Walters leading the way there.
Great
Saltzman.
follow-up by his partner to make sure that he got that bludger coming out of the tackle.
We're saying, sad to say, Tad Walters, rumor has it, will not be playing in the New Orleans area next year. Rumor has it he'll be moving to Chicago, of all places. So the Chicago United possibly getting a really good player.
Just say, Chicago United's been trying to get off the ground for quite some time now. Tad would be a great addition to that team.
He's a leader, he inspires a lot of people, and he's also really funny, which makes him very likable.
Who are we talking about?
Tad Walters.
Nicest person in Quidditch. Absolutely not a troll at any point.
Of course. Of course. I wouldn't know anything about having trolls on my roster. Actually, it's not on my roster.
But Tad possibly playing for the last time, rocking his Curse jersey here.
Trip.
He'll find it too.
Oh, no doubt.
Wrap with the call is wrap with the arm, wrap with the leg. That is a yellow card on the Curse Chaser.
And strangely enough, with his exodus, birth of a new team out of Louisiana, Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge. Very. I wonder how long people will get that reference.
You know, that and like Hoosier Daddies, I'm really big into like puns.
So after
Baton
Donald,
Rouge, and Baton Rouge's first tournament supposedly is going to be Battle for the Axe in Nacogdoches, Texas, hosted by Lumberjack Quidditch. So we'll see how that works out for him. As a member of the Houston Cosmos, I'm hoping it doesn't work out for him well because we'll be playing in that tournament too. Samuel Harris on the attack for the goal.
Walters manages to keep bludger control, but allows Sam Harris to just weave in and get that quick dunk. 60-20, Argonauts over the Hive.
And is it a timeout?
That is a Curse timeout.
There it is. Keeper was in the zone with possession initially. Timeout called, and a much-needed breather for the New Orleans Curse. They'll get some water, talk some and discuss some strategy, and we can talk about this tournament a little bit more. As a divisional champion, you get what, 3 hours off before you had to touch the pitch?
We don't have to touch the pitch till 3:30
Woo!
Central Time, which is great. Got to sleep in. Was still asleep while everyone was
Heading
out here
yeah.
starting their game. It was a hard-fought win. I appreciate the sleep flying in from California.
Yeah, how was the flight?
Flight wasn't too bad. We had some of our teammates get in at about 6:30 this morning, so they're very much appreciating this sleep.
Right.
But we've been called to the field to be here no later than 1 o'clock by our manager because he has everything together and wants to make sure we're fit and ready to go when we take on the winner of the Detroit Innovators and Washington Admirals.
And the Admirals, when I was walking over here, they're actually hanging out underneath that tree right behind us, and the Indianapolis Intensity hanging out on the bleachers here to the left-hand side. They are divisional champions as well.
And you can see behind us we have
two-time champions.
the Boston Knight Riders and Los Angeles Guardians, who are on opposite sides of the brackets and will hopefully meet each other in the finals if I have any say in it.
And the Boston Knight Riders potentially taking on the Austin Outlaws, which would be one of the most highly anticipated Day 2 games out here, as that would be divisional champions.
Play has resumed.
After that cursed timeout, Argonauts still up 60-20. Sorry, yeah, 60-20 current score here. As we inch near the time where the Seekers will be released, we'll be interested to see what they go with. Tad just ran into a hoop.
He missed, this was his first missed tackle of the day, but his partner managed to keep everything clear. And they score!
Wow! A beautiful shot, mid-air, changing direction with the accuracy, a soft touch on it as well, and it gets the curse back into snitch range.
60-30, Argonauts over the curse.
60-30, like you said, Argonauts won game 1 of this matchup.
What's wrong with the scoreboard?
And we do not have the exact game time at the moment, but it is getting very close to snitch. We see him waiting over by the scorer's tent.
So it's in this tab right here.
Okay.
So this
We're
is
getting
it. So
some
what's the
scoreboard
proper
help
what's
right
the
now.
proper score?
It's
60-30.
Who's home?
San Francisco, 60.
They're home?
Yes.
Okay.
Argonauts passing up on the midline between Harris and Koval.
Playing too slow.
Wait, what is it?
And Perry
30?
Wang
Yeah, 60-30.
getting rid of all chaser pressure.
Do we know what the time
Hive
is?
stacking three
No,
deep
we
on the
didn't
hoops.
have
They are
time checking
taking
a
away
second.
any
Seekers are about
chance
to
of a
push us
shot.
in the 19th minute.
18th minute.
They are making the
So-
Great Wall of New Orleans. Let's hope this levee doesn't break.
Wow!
So
Too soon.
It's been
like a
12
decade.
years.
It's been like 12 years, right?
Yeah, I think so.
We're getting the 10-second countdown for Seekers.
A lot of things have happened in those 12 years. Oh, wow.
And Seekers are released.
that's it. There we go. Alright, so use
On the
use these
attack.
buttons exclusively.
It's the rookie for this goal.
So yeah, so that's a home goal plus 10.
Argonauts managed to push it out of snitch range, but Curse looking, and they put it right back in snitch range, giving their Seeker free reign to put this game into overtime. And two Curse beaters on the snitch, who have both backed off to, Tad has backed off to hopefully stop the quaffle.
70-40 score here. And we could be here for a while, ladies and gentlemen. Gabe of Baylor Quidditch out there. He's got 4 games that he's played in so far. He's only been caught once in a Major League Quidditch season.
The average amount of time he spends on the pitch is 15 minutes. Now, see, snitches can only spend up to 20 minutes. He is the snitch of the year, from what I was told by Amanda Dallas.
With good reason. Quidditch Post Snitch of the Year, I believe.
No,
The MLQ
MLQ
snitch of the year. He was part of the Quidditch Post voting there.
Samuel Harris
It
with the
looks like
step
Hugo
over on it.
Quiroz may have just nutmegged Gabe Garces. And they are going to confer. As far as we could tell, the snitch was still on his feet.
70-40. Argonauts with the catch will end the game and be victorious, eliminating the New Orleans curse and moving on to the next round.
I didn't see it, but it's just like everybody was all close together.
The only problem with a nutmeg, sometimes they can say it impedes the path of the snitch if it is done improperly, but one of the more subtle skills that a seeker can have.
Tad Walters trying to say the snitch. Oh, and it was no good. What was it? Impeded?
Yes.
And you were right. That's the call.
Sounds
So-
like, according to Gabe, he grabbed more than just the snitch. So
As a snitch myself, sometimes I have often been nutmegged because I have a very wide stance, and seekers often miss that pull and grab something very different.
yeah, no.
And Argonauts pass behind the hoops, but it is turned over.
I was gonna say, when you're a snitch, do you take your time to take a knee and regain yourself after that type of situation?
Any time to get a breather, I will take. Especially in weather this hot, though. Gabe is used to this kind of weather because he is from Baylor.
Waco, Texas. Baylor University. One of the premier colleges in the state of Texas.
And then
Mouth guard.
very old
Ooh,
school
is that a red?
giant for Quidditch.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
There's
bleeding.
bleeding. Okay, we thought there was a mouth guard situation, which is a straight red.
Different kind of red here.
Looking it right off.
As time continues to elapse here, we thought Gabe might have been caught earlier in this game, but we see the Curse have elected to go with the situation that allows them to get one more male chaser on the pitch by sending out a female seeker.
Mansfield with a quick block on Saltzman
And
manages
he's
to
gotta
regain
be.
bludgeon control.
He's got to beat, and he's occupying the beater, so it's a man-on-man, and it'll be a score for the Curse. 70-50.
Ted Josh, Mansfield blocks from the ground.
Curse-
Josh and Tad are killing it right now. Oh, and that
Just completely ran through an opposing beater.
quick
Opposing
face
seeker.
beat on the Argonaut seeker, number 81, whose name is not on the back of his jersey.
Dylan Liu, he was one of the last 5 guys added to the Argonauts roster, and he's about to be called for,
Shoving
Yeah.
Curse Seeker to the
is that
ground.
illegal contact, I believe is the proper term that falls under?
You are allowed to push, you are not allowed to push them to the ground.
Yes. And I believe he might have got 2 hands in on that one, but it is going to be a penalty nonetheless.
Yellow card.
What's the game time?
A lot.
Score is 70-50. Argonauts over the Curse.
Yeah, we got a penalty coming up.
Is there another camera anywhere? No, the memory's full.
Got a hammer.
All right. I can take. Well, is there a radio?
Hard reset.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
stop
they-
time.
Yeah. Oh, what? It just started itself again. Or it's still starting itself. As we're about to remount here, Gabe trying to get the Curse's Seeker's broom, and it's going to be a goal for
Looks like
the...
Sam Harris stripped the keeper in the zone and did a quick dunk.
That usually works. We'll see if it's over the shoulder. Tad trying to call for the penalty.
Looks like they may be calling that the keeper, because they had not left the zone, was still protected.
Take it off. Because I have some.
Have immunity if you are a keeper after the initial gaining of possession for the opponent. But once you cross that keeper zone, you're just like anybody else, and they can crack you as hard as they want.
Oh, good or no?
That goal is going to be called no good.
No worries.
Oh, sweet.
Current score 70-50.
Curse have possession of
The Hive are playing.
Hive are playing over there. It was initially slated to commentate that game.
Looks like that game.
No, they lost.
Oh, they lost?
So the Rochester Whiteout have eliminated the Salt Lake City Hive from the MLQ championship. Gabe was originally the snitch here today, was the seeker for game 1 in that series, and it went a full 40 minutes, and they called it because they just got too tired of running around. I'm kidding. The new MLQ rules dictate that if 40 minutes has elapsed, the game is over, and it will be determined, the winner determined by the number of points on the scoreboard at the time.
And Whiteout was about 100 points up on Hive that game, so Hive had their beaters dedicated to that snitch to make sure it didn't end any earlier than those 40 minutes.
And the Whiteout, a team that pulled off something quite impressive earlier this year when they played the Detroit Innovators. They pulled off back-to-back shutouts, which is something you don't see too often. Allowed 80 points in Game 1 to Detroit, and then 0-0 goose egg in Game 2 and 3.
That's how you reset for games 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Teammates on the sidelines bringing water. Oh, the goal is called good.
The goal is good, so we'll make the score
The keeper.
80 to, not 100. 80 to 50 will now be the score.
And
So
play has
still
started
snitch
again.
range.
Josh
Oh,
Mansfield jumps the bludger, but still gets beat by Saltzman on the turnaround. Looking
yeah,
for
good
that loose
awareness
ball.
by Saltzman to realize that he can just beat him with the other bludger.
And Saltzman and Walters trade, and all the bludgers are on the ground.
2 male beaters in for the New Orleans Curse.
Yeah,
And
David.
swatting allowed by everybody in the game except the Seekers for the MLQ season.
Get him!
Once again, Mansfield hit on the heel after leaping forward, and now Foster on the attack for the New Orleans Curse, trying to swim away from the hands of Gabe. He's got those long arms, and he uses offensive lineman technique, 2 hands to the chest. Oh, and he pulled the snitch off, so the catch will not count because it wasn't a clean grab, but knowing that you can get there is half the battle when it comes to facing off against Gabe.
And Curse recover bludger control, a very important tool to have when Snitch is on pitch. And the Argonaut Seeker is back in. It is Sean Booker, leading scorer for the team.
And getting that precious alone time with the snitch right now are the New Orleans Curse. They are in a situation with a pull. They would force overtime, where the Seeker floor is 1 minute. And after that, the snitch, if it is caught, is called for 15 points instead of 30. Once again,
Yes!
And they score, so a pull will now mean a win. Andrew Colville on the quick turnaround.
and a
Beat by
good beat
Mansfield
and
and laid out,
dropped.
but Sam Harris jumped. The Curse looks like he jumped over Sam Harris's back. Sam Harris still gets up with a
That's Travis
knocked
Johnson.
over hoop and a quick score on the hoop that bounces right back up.
Travis Johnson probably about to be called for over the back.
Who scored for the Argonauts on that one? I was thinking.
That was Sean Booker. Or not Sean Booker, Sam Harris, sorry.
Sam Harris and Sean Booker comboing up for vast majority of the points for the Argonauts here today.
They both played for Cal in Cal's World Cup 5
Old school teammates back before we put USQ Nationals in the South.
It's only 10 points ahead. That's good on both sides. 90-60 our current score and holding. As time continues to elapse.
Running back
Currently
out to bring
paused.
water. Contact from behind.
Contact from behind, like you said, you saw him go down. He was trying to gain control of the quaffle, but he was over his back, reached over his shoulder because he was turtled. That's why you turtle up, ladies and gentlemen. You get the call almost every time. Unlucky for the lucky for the Argonauts. He got that call because I would imagine if there was a scrum for it outside the keeper zone, that'd be pretty rough, especially with Snitch on pitch.
Miles back in for beater. They are running the double male set again with.
I gotta wonder what the time is.
Argonauts have control of the bludgers, but alone time for Foster when he's seeking is what he's going to get. So we'll see if that throw comes up, and Trammell is going to run away from an attempted beat.
Argonauts are dedicating their beaters to stop this goal. They want to force this to go out of range. They want to stop this quaffle, get a quick turnaround, and go there. But Sean Booker almost gets the pull.
And he's going to get beat. Sean Booker using the ever dangerous two-handed technique. No hands on the broom. Easily can be pulled out, but was able, because of his thighs, able to hold on to it in a quick, fast break. And it looks like a throw. He's going to be beat on the calf. The Argonauts' possession is over. 90-60 still the current score on the attack, and Newcomer for the goal.
With another
it's
great
no
beat by
good.
Miles. It was a cross-field beat, returning the favor that the Curse just gave them.
Good awareness by these beaters and good movement as well on the part of the Chasers, seeing the opportunities and trying to seize them. Remember, the New Orleans Curse in a situation where they have to win this one. It's do or die here today, ladies and gentlemen, for the Curse. Or it's going to be an extra long vacation in League City, Texas. Argonauts with the pass over the top of the hoop. Samuel Harris going to swim away from a tackle and finish at the hoops. And the Argonauts will enter triple digits with 100-60 to score. Trammell going to be beat on the hip, and the score going to be scooped up and finished by Todd Mayhew.
And he has taken the hoop with him.
Going up the stake. Away score.
And it looks like we may need to replace these shorts at some point because that tail is just flying off.
170 back in snitch range.
Yeah, take out!
And as I check my notes, this is the fifth time, just the fifth time, the San Francisco Argonauts have scored 100-plus points in the game. And a quick call back to hoops.
Double B with a nice kick.
A throw over, and it looks like a potential score. No, Todd Mayhew locking up for a tackle, throwing it behind just before he crosses the mid-pitch. Todd Walters using the bludger to try and toss back to Quaffle. He will successfully get it back to the cursed newcomer, bringing it up, and the snitch is no longer on. The snitch runner, Gabe Garces. The cursor running the perimeter on the right-hand side. Todd Mayhew taking a chance here. Tad Walters, electing to not beat the lead point chasers. I'm sorry, the point chaser. And now the Argonauts on a quick run, beating the lead chaser out in front. Samuel Harris for the goal, and he will finish.
And so the scoreboard right now reads 110 to 80.
What?
Says 80.
Yeah, 110 to 80. Jacob Matevia trying to catch that beat, but unsuccessful. And that goal is no good, but the Hearst recover. Pressured behind the hoops. Angel Koval.
Todd Mayhew for the goal.
Saltzman beat is no good. Hits his own player.
And Gabe nearly caught, what, 3 times here today so
A
far?
bunch of times. Got some great seeking going on right now.
Trying to swim away, get skinny, and clear the hands, and the snitch has fallen off the shorts again.
We're going to need new shorts.
Might need to get the mythical sorts of Josh Carroll. Seems like in all of the Southwest, there was only one good pair of snitch shorts, and they belong to Josh Carroll. As the quaffle play continues here, in a quick beat by Tad Walters, another one.
Able to stop that kick reset.
Tad handing out the punishment here today.
Hugo trying again for that nutmeg, but...
Ooh, nice dodge by Tad, and a beat up top too, clearing the path. He's got Saltzman in front, trying to draw him off the line as the Argonauts are hanging out by the hoops. Best case scenario will be to make it a man-on-man situation. No good on the goal.
And it looks like they're
Equipment
signaling over to the
malfunction.
tent, and they're going to get some new shorts finally, hopefully.
We're going to get some new snitch shorts.
Hey, can we get game time, please?
It's 23-28.
It is...
Or wait, no, has that been stopped?
That is, yeah,
Yeah, I hit start and
it's
stop
been
like a
rough.
bunch of times.
Time?
So,
We
yeah.
don't know.
We're trying to figure that out. Our clock's been...
Time! Thank you.
29. Okay, so just type that in with a colon and then hit set time. And then hit set,
Where
start.
is it? Here we go.
I think that's a
29.
semicolon.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, I hit the shift.
Okay, good. Okay, so 29, 23.
What's that?
23.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
then
And then
set timer.
set timer.
And then hit start stop once they blow the whistle. It won't show up until you hit start
Oh, okay,
stop.
cool.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we have confirmation there, replacing these snitch shorts because it will not stay attached.
And one thing to pay attention to, we are a little bit over 30 seconds away from being 10 minutes until this game is completely over. So we'll see if the legend of Gabe Garces continues to expand out. And as I look over behind the hoops over here by the Argonauts, I see the Salt Lake City Hive huddled up, having a conversation, talking it out. On the opposing side, the New York Titans and the League City Legends are warming up for game number 2 in their series. League City Legends have the New York Titans in a pretty bad spot. New York coming into this game as probably the highest of the third seeds, if you could rank the third seeds. They finished 4th.
New Orleans behind, like playing in the South, man. Like, don't let their record fool you. I definitely think they're the best team.
I
You're
say
sub.
record-wise because they finished 4th. They finished tied for their second place in their division. Yeah.
And
But I
they're-
agree. Yes, the
They're
South is tough.
in the same division as the forever undefeated Boston Knight Riders, who
Yes.
are hashtag riding the streak.
What is it, 18-0? They have not
It's-
lost in regular season play or postseason play ever in MLQ.
And full disclosure, I did play for that original Boston Knight Riders team that first year.
So you're just a winner. That's what I'm hearing. From one championship to another.
I would love to get that second championship and take out that undefeated title, but it will be a tough challenge because they have a very strong team. And it looks like we're getting ready to start, but the Hive had a very rough season this year with their starting keeper going down with a knee injury against the Los Angeles Guardians.
And just another testament to how long the grind of the Quidditch season is. Most of us played the USQ season, and then 2 weeks later had tryouts for MLQ teams.
Yep.
And then we had practice 2 weeks later after they announced the rosters. You practice 2 times a week. You got long, grueling 3-game series because you don't want people to drive 100 or in the case of the Kansas City Stampede, they traveled over 1,000 miles because they had to come down to Austin, down to League City, and luckily for them, New Orleans came up to them for KC for their last series. But over 1,000 miles to play one game, you have to get a couple in, and it's pretty exhausting, especially considering the conditions here in League City, Texas, heat. Across the board, nobody's cold wherever they're playing at. I know there was rain in some of the games. Detroit played in the rain a couple of times, but at the end of the day, it's summertime. So the long, grueling season is arduous on the body, even the well-in-shape bodies.
Absolutely, and that's why it's so important to stay hydrated. Keep drinking water, and I need to fill up my bottle again in the very near future.
As we all take a swig of water, because even commentators, and also Ryan's got a couple games to play. And how much time you got left? It's nice. It's nice being a high seed.
It is amazing being a 1 seed.
He's been here, 2 hours?
I've been here about 2 hours
And
now.
you got 3 more hours until you play another
Yep.
game. Everybody else is out here running around hitting each other.
And we get the winner of a grueling matchup between Detroit and Washington.
And Detroit coming into this matchup, out of the 12 teams that have shown up here today, they are the lowest scoring team. They average 60 quaffle points per game. So they depend a lot on their defense and, in most cases, catching the snitch to get wins, which, everybody, for whatever you have to say about the quaffle game, the drama of being a team that depends on catching the snitch is nothing like you've ever seen before in all of sports.
As a player who's played on teams where we like to keep it close and go for that snitch pull, it is incredibly stressful.
A lot of yelling, a lot of screaming.
Many of us will probably develop heart conditions within the next 2 or 3 years.
The long-term ramifications of Quidditch on a whole nother level. I mean, we're not talking CTE here, people. How many people can we look around right now that play Quidditch and have torn their ACL? If you've torn your ACL, raise your hand. Everybody just raise their hand.
I'm very lucky I have not.
Medical professional show up.
Getting a great massage from Knight Riders keeper Tyler
looking
Trudeau.
to specifically look into how Quidditch results in injury.
Yes. A lot of cutting, a lot of hitting, a lot of people. And surprisingly enough, as the game develops only in its 10th year of existence, we still got a lot of new players who have never played before. So when they get put in unique situations, they don't know how to react necessarily. So one of the most dangerous things in all of sports, doesn't matter what you're playing, football, basketball, Quidditch, if you're in a situation and you don't know what you're doing, it's dangerous for everybody.
Yeah. I know I've had many practices where we literally just stand there and learn how to take a hit.
Yes.
It's the most dangerous time. Both hitting people, I've seen people get hurt hitting other people. I've seen people get hurt getting hit. But if you know how to fall,
Yes.
it's the best possible option. You'll keep yourself and your teammates safer.
And you'll get up to play another day. That's the most important part there. Long careers in the game of Quidditch. We talk about Sarah Nealing and her 11 years. That's rare in any sport, especially at the highest level, talking about playing for Team USA.
11 years. And the other longest playing player is on the Los Angeles Guardians, Justin Bogart, who played for Middlebury since its second season.
A name we haven't heard, almost as great a myth as Harry Potter himself, Middlebury. Rumor has it that they're getting a team this season. It would be amazing to see Middlebury come back. For those of you who don't know your Quidditch history, Middlebury won the first 8 cups?
The first 5 before Texas took over.
And for the last 5 years, 4 of the last 5 championships have come to Texas.
And we have the snitch shorts back in place, and Argonauts have the quaffle. Apparently play started with some hugs behind the hoops.
There we go. Timer is accurate, and play is back and resumed, like you said, Ryan. Beats up top, seekers and beaters down. Saltzman, the only person to survive that beat fest by the snitch is going to be New Orleans Curse beater Lavando.
Curse is getting all this alone time, and now the Argonauts are making their way, and there was a quick turnover.
Trammell on the attack, but he's going to have to back up because of the presence of a beater. Oh, no, it's not Trammell. That is...
Yeah, Hugo, get in there.
It's number 13 for the Curse.
Jason Wynn.
That is Casillo. Russell Bryan Casillo out there.
And secret for the Argonauts trying some spin moves, but Gabe is having none of it.
And be interested to see. Didn't hear a midline call, did you?
I did not hear him. You did?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay, so they did get a
this
midline.
is the only reset the Curse will get on this offensive possession. The Argonauts playing high, and Tad Walters with the catch. Beaters beat. Josh Manfield is down, and the only other bludgers on the far side. The goal is good.
Oh.
Beaters were distracted.
It's not clear what the call is going to be. Refs are pointing at Josh Mansfield of the Curse.
And we'll hold off on putting the goal on the scoreboard here for a second because the whistle happened almost in a bang-bang type situation. Goal was scored, and then we heard the whistle blow.
That could have been an advantage call.
Which, in Major League Quidditch, it changed from U.S. Quidditch. The advantage, the clock does stop when the referee does have their hand up. So time matters. Time is a factor here. We got stuff to do.
So with Gabe Garces, you usually get a lot of it.
As he is nearing, we talk about that 40-minute mark.
All day, I want to shout out to David Medina from Cal Quidditch, who caught him twice at Nationals this year, so it can be done.
So in a different season, Gabe Garces can be caught during USQ. He was caught twice by Cal, which is an impressive feat.
David Medina is tiny. That's how it's over.
And don't know if Baylor signed up for breakfast taco, but first big Quidditch out of the Southwest region every single year. Pretty much every team that's going to impact is going to be
What was the call? Red card.
Defenseless.
Ball jumped up in the air. Tad went for it.
And he tackled him in the air. That's good.
Oh,
So
wow.
goal is good.
Goal is going to be good.
Just it runs it should
Card.
catch up.
And David Saltzman called for that defenseless receiver on that play when Tad leapt up to catch the ball. He just went for the hit.
2 minutes, even if the goal is scored, no matter what. And we can talk about this situation. When you talk about being down a beater with snitch on pitch, how tough is it for an opposing team? What you have to basically pick a resource, right? You can't even fight for bludger control. You have to.
You can't really fight for anything. You're just kind of
Dead in the
taking
water.
whatever scraps you can get because those two beaters can just wall you off. There's nothing you can do to keep that third bludger out of their hands.
And two experienced players out there, Tad Walters and Josh Mansfield, playing the other beater position for the New Orleans Curse.
Losing Saltzman is a very rough thing because Saltzman is a very athletic, very energetic player. Something great to have in this kind of heat and humidity.
And when play starts, this game could be flipped on its head, and we could be looking at game number 3 or possibly overtime. A snitch grab wins it for either team. It's 110 to 100. Play has resumed.
And Miles has managed to regain bludger control without any help by beating Walters off to the side, and he is just letting that ball sit at their hoops.
And Foster getting a chance to actually go for the snitch this time. We haven't seen that in a couple of minutes here. He's had to play some defensive seeking. Now his team's directly back into it. Crazy to see this momentum change. The Argonauts coming in on a big wave, and now Sean Booker on the attack, paying attention to the beater, not the impending tackler, and now will swim away from it. Will get pushed off the hoops. He's still circling. He'll be pulled, looks like maybe from behind, and a quick throw and score by Chang.
So Miles is almost pulling off the impossible by maintaining bludger control with some great rebounds, great beats, great throws, but he was distracted by the ref, and Michael Sanders managed to steal that bludger away.
And a quick throw and score. Argonauts keeper was behind the hoops, caught it, thought he was able to block it before he went all the way through. He did not. Snitch play has resumed here.
Miles beats Mansfield, catches it, throws the bludger back. Miles putting on a show.
And the intensity, why Miles is doing so performing so well. And the ball is poked out. Sean Booker with a steal, with a takeaway here. He will retreat back.
They're going to hold that quaffle and wait for that 2 minutes to go up so they can get full strength back. Unless they have that clear drive.
So let's see. So far they've got one beater and gained some semblance of what you would consider bludger control, correct?
Absolutely.
And only one goal has been scored by the Curse.
And he is, at one point, had all 3 bludgers on the ground. Is doing the work of 2 and beating the Seeker when he gets the chance. But whenever he goes for that Seeker, he's giving up that quick goal. So even though Miles is doing as good of a job as can be inhumanly expected, he still cannot do everything.
And Todd Matthew looks like he's headed to the box. The goal is no good.
What's the call?
What's game time?
It's less than 33.
32 something.
Just get it right in the box and then hit set score.
All right, cool. I was going to say. 110, right?
121-10. Yep.
Cool.
Play is started up again. Oh! And Hugo pulls the snitch. Let's see if it's called good. Hugo absolutely believes this pull was good. Miles putting on one of the best beater shows I've ever seen with only one properly working knee.
I could kiss you. Tim wouldn't even care right now. You too, Hugo.
Wow.
That is, again, Liz Barcelos.
Wow,
Talking
ladies
about her
and
boyfriend,
gentlemen.
and it's an amazing pull.
Ladies and gentlemen, the San Francisco Argonauts advance on to the next round of the MLQ Championships. They have defeated the New Orleans Curse by actually pulling Gabe Garcet.
Pulling him in under 15 minutes. This may have been the fastest pull on Gabe. I don't know that one
All
time.
season, probably.
All season.
The other time that he was caught, he was brought in specifically for the Kansas City League City Legends matchup, and that was in Game 1. And I remember that game elapsing quite some time as well. But the San Francisco Argonauts, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next round of the MLQ Championship. The New Orleans Curse, their season is officially over. Final score here, it's going to be 150 to 110. Final score 150-110 with about 9 minutes to, well, it would have been 6 minutes to go until this one was over. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will call it a good broadcast, and when we come back, it'll be, let's see, who's next? It looks like we've got the Washington Admirals lining up for their matchup with the Detroit Innovators. And that is all, ladies and gentlemen, for the MLQ Championship live from League City, Texas.